Leadership within sailing is something that comes with the sport.
The adversity of going offshore, racing in a boat with small crew like this develops a certain character in these individuals.
You gain that confidence as you go out there, you develop yourself out there, you learn independence, you learn how to communicate. And you're also held accountable because the boat will tell you when you haven't done your job. And the ocean will tell you when you haven't done your job. And sometimes it's unforgiving.
We run up to the front of the boat and we're crashing into the waves. There's like 6 inches of water on the bow. Rich Ginger looks back at me and he yells, "You know what happens if you fall over?" I was like, "What?" "You die." And it's just...
Never been to that edge before, have you?
Never have, you know?
It's amazing to see and look over the edge, isn't it?
It gives you just such a respect for, you know, the ocean, and you learn about what you're capable of.
I always tell them they'll have at least one epiphany when they go on an offshore event. You will be different by the time you come back.
The only way through is through, and you're going forward.
How do we develop leaders that are able to exercise effective decision-making under conditions of uncertainty, manage risk under dynamic and ambiguous environments, and in the complex operational environment that the Navy leaders operate in today? You know, these are very, very important skill sets to deliberately develop. And then as I was learning about sailboat racing, where every puff of the wind or velocity change or shift changes the actual shape of the field you're playing on, sailing is a perfect environment in which we can develop leaders that are ready.
From the very beginnings, where you're basically in charge of your world, you're responsible for yourself, you need to get from one place to another, you need to make sure that you're safe and you're going to survive. You're in control of your destiny. It's not an insignificant bar to put in front of a young person.
Being in a small boat, even if it's a very small amount that all the midshipmen get in the Colgates, where there are 4 of them on a boat, we have an instructor with them. Even that little bit of touch of sailing really helps with what they might be doing in the future.
Greetings. My name is Captain Ken Reitler, U.S. Navy retired, Naval Academy class of 1973.
2001.
2015.
Class of 2020.
Class of 2020 Intercollegiate Sailing Team.
I'm Commander Sarah Abbott, call sign Killface. I'm an F-18 pilot, a test pilot.
I'm in the advanced stage of flight training at NAS Kingsville, flying the T-45 Charlie Goshawk.
I am about to go to my second submarine to complete my department head tour.
Whether it was flying helicopters overseas or in my current role leading a team of the country's most talented engineers, I can't begin to overstate the number of times I've drawn upon the lessons I learned while on the team and at the yard.
At the heart of Navy sailing is the commitment to instill competency on the water, the pursuit of excellence, team building, and decision-making under stress. These qualities that make successful racers translate directly to what is highly valued in each distinct warfare community.
That experience was equally valuable to my work as a NASA astronaut. Yes, the technology was a little different, but the people skills were the same. Even keeping a weather eye was essential to survival.
Both Navy sailing and naval aviation heavily rely on what's called the Crew Resource Management Model, or CRM for short. On the Navy sailing team, you would use CRM every day, reviewing the weather, looking at what's going on around you, what other boats are doing, to build a better sight picture of what's happening and also build a better plan moving forward.
You're operating something. Being an operator is a very special class of doing something.
The boat, the equipment and everything that you have is yours. While you're there, it's your job to make sure that your equipment lasts wherever you're sailing. I mean, there's nothing like that.
Sailing taught me how to be a good assessor of myself. And a good example of that is how you can start off a 18 race regatta with either a really good or a really bad race. And what sailing helped me develop was the ability to take in both the goods and the bads and really work through them with a level head, to the point where I was still learning about the wind conditions, the race course, and my own abilities up to and through that 18th race.
So often in a career in the military and life in general, we get dealt with things that are completely out of our control, and it's so easy to get down on your luck and focus on the current situation you're in. But what sailing taught me is that I don't think you necessarily need to be positive all the time, but you can't spend too long being negative. You immediately need to shift your energy and your focus into solutions and improving your situation and moving on to the next thing. That's what the team needs.
Leadership is a skill that it can constantly be developed. There is no way that there is a perfect leader. The one way that sailing projects and personifies leadership as a whole is by forcing you to make the hard decisions.
What sail changes am I going to do? Is that weather predicted really going to come in? Do I need to change the sails now? Should I wait? Should I hold? Can I get another mile ahead before I have to make that call? The end result, right, is your score. What did you come in at? How is your crew? Are they together? Do you have a good bunch? That aspect of sailing is unbelievable. In the Navy, you're going to own those decisions too. If you're up in a plane, if you're the watch captain on a sub or a watch captain on the ship at 12 knots or 300 knots or 7 knots, whatever that rate is going to be, you're going to own that decision, and that's what that's teaching you.
Being totally self-sufficient for 20 days. You have nobody to rely on except those people around you. And again, you talk about leadership, the skippers on that boat. If something went wrong, it was 5 days since we'd seen any boat. That means help is at least 2 days away. There is no going to help. There is no calling down the main office to have somebody come up and help you. It is you dealing with it.
Navy sailing was noticeably tougher, and that toughness was built through long practice days, and we got used to the cold water and the waves and the burn of hiking for hours. In my current job, it doesn't really matter how far you can swim or how fast you can run or how well you can withstand the cold. What matters is staying focused and functional under intense physical stress.
We need another grinder! Somebody help him grind!
Sailing at the U.S. Naval Academy, when you have on the offshore team, you balance juggling a crew. As you get them, you get what you get, and then you develop the crew members from there. And they're going to have strengths and weaknesses, and you got to make sure you can find some way to make that complementary balance. What that's led to in the Navy is I'm known as somebody who can build a team. I took that out to the fleet. I get my crew, and I get what I get, the Navy gives you, and that combat crew you take with on deployment, and you develop them where they are and further along. I was the most junior mission commander in my squadron when I did step up, and 2 months later I found myself on some awesome missions because I was able to make my crew go.
You go across the Atlantic together through the struggles and the challenges that we did, and expecting each other to fill in and perform in the ways that we did, you really get close with each other, bond with each other in ways that no other type of experience can really do for you. It was one of the coolest, most special and rewarding moments that I've ever felt.
I really enjoy watching my crew go. I also enjoy teaching and coaching the next generation. You're essentially teaching yourself out of a job. But that's what you do in the Navy. Every 3 years, we hand you a new team, and you rebuild that team, and you are building your replacements at any given time.
This year is kind of special for me since it's my last year sailing with the Naval Academy after, it's going to be 34 years this October. But it's been a tremendous, amazing experience for my life to do this. Makes it like family even.
Navy sailing, we're so incredibly fortunate to have a network of teammates all throughout the world. A Navy sailor is always there to help, and I've been so incredibly fortunate to have the Navy sailing family as a part of my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my time with Navy sailing.
Those relationships that you make on the water just continue and follow you your whole life.
Navy sailing helps build leadership skills for success, fundamental practical knowledge and competence, a drive to continuously improve, mentoring those in your charge, training your relief, a deep appreciation of the maritime environment, in a practical sense for problem solving on the spot, qualities at the heart of our naval services and from which our leaders draw upon daily, qualities our nation needs in and out of uniform.
I wish the best for the team in the future, and go Nads.
Go Navy sailing.
Go Navy, sail fast.